Welcome to the Dave Palma Show, the podcast that revives, restores, and awakens your innermost capabilities.
You have the training and the talent to succeed, but do you have the guts to fail?
I love what I do. When you love what you do, you want to be the best at it.
Today is about the power of you. You will change the world.
Find your path to success through the journey of those who have succeeded. And now, your host, Dave Palma.
Hi, welcome back to the Dave Palma Show. And with me in this episode, I have someone who helps busy professionals win the fight against their excuses and improve their quality of life through fitness. Chad Austin, welcome to the Dave Palma Show.
Awesome. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, it's absolutely, I mean, fitness was my life, or it is my life, but pretty much so since I was a kid, taking up track and other sports as well. So I was pretty sporty more than, gyms weren't around. I'm 57 years old. Gyms weren't around. Well, they were around, but, you know, everything was at the track for me. Then I was a firefighter as my profession, which I wanted to do as well. And so I know a little bit about that. But of course, you've been a professional fitness expert, you know, all your life. So tell me how you got started before we launch into the, you know, the sort of stuff you do now and offer people, and some of the kind of controversial stuff that's out there and what people need to know.
Absolutely. Actually, personal training was actually a second career of mine. I was a college athlete and
What did you do?
teacher. I was a wrestler.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'd wrestled for a few years in college, and then I was a PE teacher and strength conditioning coach for 3 years.
Oh, you're a PE teacher. It's a similar kind of, you know,
yeah, a similar
Army,
fit.
military PTIs, PE teachers, you know, they're all kind of similar.
Yeah, but I think the only difference is really, I mean, before when I was a coach and a strength conditioning coach, it was mainly more geared towards athletes, and then now I think
Sports specific.
More sports specific before, and now it's really about I help everybody. I think really over the years, as I've evolved as a trainer, it's more about helping busy professionals who maybe kind of like us used to be athletes, and their life's just gotten busy, and now they're trying to figure out where fitness fits, how it looks, and so that's kind of my niche now. Is I help people figure out how fitness fits in their life, so they can keep it long term and get off the roller coaster of inconsistency that we all kind of hop on and off of.
Yeah. I mean, was you pretty sporty as a kid yourself? I mean, you did wrestling. Was that your thing when you was sort of young? I mean, I tried boxing.
I didn't actually start till I was in high school, but yeah, it was life for sure. But any sport I could play, I would play.
Me too, yeah, the same thing. But I tried boxing. I didn't want to do anything in the ring after that, so wrestling was out. So did you come from a sporting background? Like you know, I mean, I encouraged my brother, but he was already doing stuff like karate and cycling. But he did track with me when I said, "Yeah, come to the track." He still does as a master. Was it like that with your background, or not really?
I mean, just sort of. I mean, I think it's the same as a lot of people and me and you are in similar boats, you know. I mean, I think once I became a coach, I was a better athlete. Again, the same as once I became a teacher, I was a better student, you know. And I know that definitely overflows into training the last 15 years too. I definitely am much better at keeping fitness a priority in my own life as life's obstacles and life's changes come, and I have to adapt to them. And it's made me better as a trainer teaching my clients. And so it's kind of one and the same. I've definitely learned something from every challenge I've taken on, and I've grown from all of them.
Yeah. I suppose really it's kind of like that with me, where I still carried on the track when I became a firefighter, so it sort of kept me fit for my job, etc. But obviously that was my main profession. That's what I was getting paid for. I was a professional there. And then I did a few coaching courses, and stuff like that, linked to my interest outside work, but also had to keep fit for the functional stuff for firefighters as well. You had to do that, didn't you, really? So, so the thing is that there was a time, and it's a big issue now, which is why I look more at coaching overall, including the mind, is that, there is a thing now with mental health and suicide and PTSD and stuff like that. And that can actually, especially with the sleep issue, the shift workers, sleep is detrimental to, and it's all part and parcel of fitness now, really, as well as diet and stuff like that, you know. So I kind of fell in that loop, you know. I had a couple of medical issues that came up and took me off the fire truck, if you like, you know,
Yeah.
went in a desk job and I started putting on weight and drifted away a bit with personal problems, and it all really went the other way for me, you know, kind of like halfway through my career, firefighting career, didn't do track anymore. It's a different thing, you know, and I did all these coaching courses, you know. I mean, I wasn't professionally doing it like you went professionally in the end, like you are now, a pro. And then I eventually learnt from that experience, and which is why I do a more holistic area of it, you know. And really, this podcast is central to all that, which is why I have experts like you come on and really help people, you know.
Yeah, you got a really fascinating story how fitness has clearly changed a lot in your life.
Yeah,
And your motivation to do it has too. You know, I mean, that is something I deal with every day with all of my clients. Everyone has life's obstacles and life changes, and every life change. You know, we're really good at adapting to change when it comes to our family, our career, our faith, any of our passions like that. But we're terrible when it comes to adapting to change when it comes to our health and our fitness. It is so important. We always put it off till later. But as far as our mental health goes, and handling stress, handling, you know, our moods, our energy. I mean, just being able to be mentally strong and have a positive mood. Fitness is so important, and the way we take care of ourselves. And so it's something we have to make sure and remind people and make sure they realize that by putting off fitness, they're really doing themselves a disservice, because fitness is supposed to make you feel better inside and out. And so finding the right way it fits as your life changes is crucial.
Yeah. Missing out any exercise and fitness component with anything doesn't help me at all. You know, it helps me sleep better. It helps with a lot of stuff, you know. And I like to get my morning workouts in, but that's something we can talk about later. I mean, you know, because of the cardiac, I never can pronounce that word properly, the cardiac and whatever cycle or whatever it's called, which is part of sleep and everything else, you know. And I wouldn't say I'm a morning person, but I try to get it out of the way, you know, and have the whole day to myself, you know, so.
Yeah.
So basically you was a PE teacher and did this part-time. Let's just go back to what, so basically you went to college, became a college wrestler through the, you know, it's a big business. It's big business, college sports in America, you know.
Yeah.
So
I went from college to being PE, and so physical education and teaching fitness to high school. And I just went from that to being a personal trainer. And I actually thought personal training was kind of going to be temporary until I found my next coaching and teaching job. But it just ended up being a really good fit for me. And I've just evolved over the years, where I think at first I wanted, because I was such an athlete, a lover of sports when I was younger. I think that I wanted that to be my niche. And so I've trained people of all levels, of all athletic abilities, and all levels. Now I train people whether they're just starting out, or if they're whether the goal is getting stronger, losing body fat, or just being able to move better without pain. I mean, I definitely trained every fitness level, but I definitely, as I've grown in fitness, I think my true purpose is helping people get long-term success. And fitness, I mean, we talk about mental health. I mean, how important fitness is. I think it's, you know, just like in any profession where we're trying to help people, we want to teach people to fish, right? We want to teach, you know, if you give someone a fish, you feed them for a day. If you teach them how, you know, you feed them forever. And, you know, I think I realize that so many people, you know, when they come to a personal trainer, you know, they come fueled by short-term motivation. It's like they've been out of workout routine. They've been out of their fitness routine for long enough. That instant desire for desire for instant gratification is just peaked. And, you know, and they've tried and failed many times on their own. So they're coming to a personal trainer almost as an act of desperation, you know, because they don't think they can do it on their own. And so, but so many times I've helped people reach these short-term goals that they've come in with, only to see them only have temporary results. And so my approach has kind of definitely changed over the years. And that's kind of how my book came about too.
Right, yeah.
I
What's the
Make
name of your
Fitness
book,
a
by the way?
Priority.
We'll talk about that as well. What's the name?
Yeah, the book is Make Fitness a Priority, and so my studio is Priority Fitness, and that was actually inspired by the book series. But the book, it started as one book, Make Fitness a Priority, How to Win the Fight Against Your Excuses, and then it became a workbook, and then a 30-tip book that we actually wrote at the start of the pandemic. And I'm working on my fourth book now. The next part of it is going to be what will you gain by making fitness a priority? And it's more designed. I have a formula in there I use that will help people as their life changes reestablish what fitness looks like now that their life is different. But the book came about really as I was talking earlier about how we're terrible at adjusting to life's changes. And when life changes, fitness is always the thing we're going to get to later. And I knew I was going to write something about long-term success. But I didn't know much past that. And so when I was writing my book, it started with really an online poll. And my poll question was I asked everybody, as many people as I could, what are your top priorities in life? And the top answers were family, career, faith. Nobody said health and fitness. And so it's just one of those things. I have to. It's my job when I speak to people. It's not convincing people that exercise and nutrition are important because everyone knows the value in those things.
Yes.
What my real job is, and how I can make an impact, is helping people realize that even though they're busy and their life looks so different than it used to, they can still make fitness a priority right now. And if they do, their life will be better.
Great, that's fantastic. So let's talk about your book first, and then what you're doing, what you have to offer in terms of the actual priority. Is it a workshop or a gym called? You don't.
Well, it's a book right now. I'm working on an online training course, and I'm actually in my fourth book. I'm hoping to get accredited so it can be a training certification course, and so that's the big goal of mine with it. But Make Fitness a Priority, How to Win the Fight Against Your Excuses, that was my first book. And so if you are listening to our episodes today and you have some good takeaways, then you can go and get my first book. You can go to beatyourexcuses.com and I'll make sure you guys have that. But beatyourexcuses.com, you can get a copy of my first book for free.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But it's whether you're getting started or restarting, wherever you are in your fitness journey, it can be a very good guide or a very good motivational tool as you get started.
Yeah, fantastic. So you got that first book out. How long ago did that book come out?
That was 2016.
Right. Okay. What was your niche before that? I mean, obviously, because you started out like some people, they just try out personal training. I mean, some athletes do it, some firefighters do it, and then it's only just like a toe dipping thing, and then they don't do it anymore. Whatever, it's an experiment. So you did that, but then it became your, you as a fitness pro, as in like
it became my niche for sure as I got going. I started out, I was definitely I was more interested in helping athletes, whether it be at the top highest level or youth sports. And so I trained everyone along that range.
Right.
But then as I was going through my own fitness journey, my life is, I always tell people, when people really fall off track, it happens because of life changes.
Yeah.
I mean,
whenever I can look situation as well.
I mean, and so I think both of us we have similar backgrounds. Like I have a similar background where every time I've fallen off track, something major has changed in my life. Like when I first became a trainer, it was a career change. And so I was brand new to the gym. So I was brand new to the city. I didn't know anybody. I was single. I lived right behind the gym and had all this time. And so I worked out 2 hours a day, every day, it was in great shape.
Street.
Yeah, I was in great shape. I felt great.
Yeah.
And now 15 years later, that would never fit in my life. I mean, I'm married. I have a studio. I write, I speak, I have a full training schedule, and I'm building another one. And so it's just
juggling stuff. Yeah.
It's just, it would never fit. So I think the problem is we have this bar whenever we're trying to get in shape again, whether it's been a break or however long a break it's been. We have this bar of when the best shape of our life was, or the last time we had great results. Whatever we did for our workouts at that time, that's the bar. It's like we can't do anything less than that, or we're doing something wrong, or we'll be ashamed of we're not doing enough. And so with that mindset, then we use that as an excuse to put fitness off till later. I'm too busy because I can't do it that. And we have to understand as we get busier and as life changes, as we grow through life, that doing less for our workouts does not mean it's less of a priority. It just means that it fits different. And you think with anything else in life, what you do has to fit in your life. You can't fit a square peg in a round hole. If you try to force it, all the other things that are real important in your life are going to suffer. Fitness is supposed to make you better across the board. I mean, when I take care of myself, I'm a better husband, I'm a better friend, I'm a better trainer, I'm a better creative thinker and speaker, all those things. I'm better at everything. But when I try to force something that doesn't fit, then all those other areas can suffer. And so it's really important that you're as your life changes. So whenever someone comes in and out of my schedule and they've kind of fallen off track, they want my help to help them get back on track. I always tell them we're not picking up where we left off because your life is completely different now. We're starting where you are right now and making a plan that fits your life right now.
Exactly, and this is why you need a coach. I mean, you can have all these little fads and read something, a schedule or whatever, but it might not be for you. You need to have it tailored. You need to have it properly assessed and feedback from people, be held to account. And there are apps, there is the Apple Watch and stuff like that. But, I think a coach will be able to really personalize it, even fine tune it more. Those are just kind of things to help you along the way. So, not trying to sell your service or mine. I see myself more as a life coach because, it's, I look at other things that's happened, but you're kind of life coach as well with the fitness because it affects your life, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think a lot of any profession, I think where you're in a job where you help people, I think you're in a lot of ways a coach. My wife is a financial planner. Financial planner, financial advisor. She has many hats. Transitional coach. But I mean, we thought when we first started dating, our jobs are so different, but really they're not because we help people with behavioral changes. We help people understand how to make changes and habits. Exactly. Yeah. That's a lot of what it is. And so, I mean, it's, when you're passionate about helping people, you get better and better at learning that a lot of it is you're helping people as their life changes. You're helping people adjust to changes and adjust their behavioral changes as their life changes also.
Yeah. And the other good thing, I mean, we'll just dip into it a little bit, is that you used to have your own radio show as well. So that's good because me doing podcasts for the last 4 years, quite impressed by that as well, especially being a fitness guy.
It's really a blessing. I bet you could echo that. It's just being able to have, your passion, but then have so many professionals come on and have conversations with that have that same passion. It's I loved it when I did it. I got to interview so many great guests, and I felt like I learned something from every one of them. And so it's just having a podcast is a blessing. And so I always remember that when I get to do them. It's definitely an honor to get to share your advice and share your wisdom on shows like this, and hopefully impact a lot of people.
That's it, absolutely what the whole point of this is. So that's great. I mean, the money is secondary to it, but this is what's great, and this show just went global, especially during a pandemic. And this is what we can talk about, really, and fit in what you do, what's happened during the pandemic, because it affected the fitness industry, especially people that own gyms. I know some people that own gyms, and I've had someone on the show that owned a gym, and now he's sold it and just went back to where he started, which was where he was an overweight person and became a triathlete or Ironman person, and he wanted to lose weight. And so he specialises in helping people lose weight only. So during the pandemic, what was going on with you? And how can you help people that's gone through this period of time, which we hopefully are coming out of now?
Yeah, I am very positive. I feel like we're coming out of it as well. Yeah. But I'm a very positive person, and I always kind of have the mindset when obstacles come and when challenges or when adversity comes that this is good because we're growing. We're going to learn something from this. It's going to be very impactful for the rest of our lives. And I feel like in a lot of ways the pandemic was that, because when things got shut down, like my gym was shut down for 60 days, and there was definitely a little bit longer period than that. 60 days wasn't so bad. There was definitely longer periods of that, and other gyms in other areas definitely had it worse than us.
I mean, the gym I use, hasn't even opened back up again.
Yeah, so we've had times where we had a lot of restrictions and of course, but we basically, we went virtual, and most of us as trainers here, we weren't virtual that much before. And so we might have some online clients, but we didn't do our virtual training as much as like now everybody does. Because it's like we had to find a way. And so that's a big part of making fitness a long-term part of your life and taking care of yourself is finding a way, not finding an excuse. And I think that's a big lesson that everyone has learned from the pandemic. I mean, whatever it is that you love, we have a big obstacle now. We have some adversity. Are we going to let this be an excuse to not do it? Or are we going to find a way to still do it? And I think, whether it be about our fitness or anything, the pandemic taught us that. How do we do what we wanted to before, despite this pandemic obstacle? And then fitness, that's huge, because that's what fitness is all the time. We always have to overcome obstacles.
The thing is, even the greatest sports people started becoming depressed over it. Even with the US, I think the Australian Open, last year, not the one now. There was, obviously locked in a hotel room trying to practice and, stuff like that. And ordinary people, it happened to me for a while where even if you're going through a curfew period, you're going to eat the food that's in your house because you can't go outside. It's like, well, I'll just eat that because I can't go out and buy what I normally can that's healthy or whatever, And some people will have some weight issues now or nutrition issues maybe where they've gone out that habit, That's all needed now, isn't it? And mental health issues, obviously, which fitness helps as well. And then there's lots of research to prove that, neuroscience, where the fitness levels improve something called BDNF in the brain. I don't want to go into the chemistry side, but endorphins and stuff like that, So that is all stuff people need to know now to really, that's now the second pandemic that's going to come, is the aftermath of the physical and mental effect and the weight gain or even nutritional issues people are having. So what with the work you're doing, and I know you've got some online courses coming up soon as well, what can people look at with what you're doing now which can help them a lot?
Well, the freebie that you get is my book, as I mentioned earlier. So that's at beatyourexcuses.com. That's where you can go get your free copy of my first book. And then there's 3 books already, and my 4th one I'm working on now. That'll be just a few more months. It'll be coming out. But all of them can be found on Amazon. But make fitness a priority. That is where you can find me on Instagram, all my social media platforms, and that's my website, makefitnessapriority.com. And I have online training programs. I have book courses and all kinds of things. Any way I can help people, I'm always coming up with more ways too. But basically what I do is I help people figure out how fitness fits in their life. And so just to give an example, when people get started, so like when it's like, how would you get started making fitness a priority in your life? That's got to be a question that people are listening to and hear. And there's two ways, 2 questions you can answer right now today that help you get started. And so the first one is, how does fitness fit in your life right now? And the second one is, how much accountability do you need right now? So the first one, someone gets started, these 2 questions, just know there's no wrong answer. The only way you can do this wrong is not being honest with yourself. You have to be honest. This is where you're starting from. And so you're not picking up where you left off before. Where are you starting right now with the way your life looks right now? How does fitness fit in my life? And so the way you answer that question is just like you do anything else. Look at your work schedule, look at your family schedule, look at everything that's important, everything that you're already committed to. Get all that on the calendar, and then where does fitness fit? Where does it fit right now? And then start with that. And then the second one, how much accountability do I need? Again, both of these questions, your answer might change a couple times throughout the course of the year. I have a personal trainer. I've had my own personal trainer for over 10 years now, and I hope I have one for the rest of my life because I love having a personal trainer. But there are times during the course of the year where I need my personal trainer standing next to me, telling me exactly what to do for every workout, or else I might not do it because my motivation just isn't very good. And there are other times in the course of the year where I am just in a workout zone. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling empowered. I'm strong. I can't wait for my next workout. And then I don't need as much help because I can hold myself accountable. And so it's just, where are you right now is the question. No, there's no wrong answer. There's no reason to shame yourself or feel bad about your answer. Just you have to be honest so you can get started.
Yeah. And so there are some controversial issues around things like weight fads for the people that have gained weight, because, people can either eat or not even eat properly during the pandemic. Some people that had, eating disorders may have not bothered to go and eat even more because they wanted to lose weight more, or they were slightly anorexic anyway. And, I know of people that have sadly died during the pandemic because of that,
Yeah.
So these weight fads and scams and things like that don't help, do they really?
No, I mean, and sadly, we are far outnumbered by these by these weight loss scams. I mean, there's so many predators out there that are just it makes us easy prey because we all want to look and feel better.
Yeah.
We have a very deep desire to look and feel better. And when something like the pandemic happens, it just raises that desire to even higher level. We want to look and feel better. And there's no shortage of people that will take advantage of that. And so just know that in my next book, my book I'm writing right now, I call instant gratification. I call it turkey bacon.
Turkey bacon.
I call it turkey bacon. That's
right.
And the reason I say that because I hate turkey bacon, by the way, but I think that bacon is something that, I mean, it's hard to find someone that doesn't like bacon. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
It makes everyone think better. But turkey bacon, it looks just like it. It looks just like it. And you think it looks like the real thing, but you know it right away that it's not. It's not the real thing. Yeah. And that's what instant gratification is. I mean, you think, anyone that is promising you a shortcut or an easy path to something, you have to know is just promising you turkey bacon. And in the end, you're just going to feel like you didn't get what you paid for. You're going to be disappointed. You're going to feel like you got scammed and you got tricked because it's not the real thing. And whatever enjoyment you get is only going to be temporary. You're not going to get long-term success. And you got to keep that in mind. You have to fight that. Even the smartest person's judgment can get clouded when our desire gets to a certain level. So you have to know that instant gratification is only going to get you to temporary results, and it's better to start with what fits in your life, and that's going to keep it in your life long term, and that will avoid your temptation for all the instant gratification.
Yeah, absolutely. There's you can keep it as complex as possible or simple as possible, and it can be simple with the added, addition of a personal trainer and coach, or make it complex with all these fads and scams out there that obviously you don't need, with the turkey bacon scenario you've given just now, And at the end of the day, all they're going to do is put that weight all back on again, and a lot of people listening will probably be, in that situation will be aware of that.
Absolutely. And, I know that lesson so well because I've learned it myself so many times.
Me too.
So just know if you're listening that there's no shame involved with this. We as humans, we have to learn from our own mistakes sometimes. But as we make as coaches like ourselves, we want to help people we want them to learn from our mistakes. And so that's what we always try to do. Yeah. But when making fitness a priority in your life, taking care of yourself and making your health a priority, it's not always easy. There's going to be times when it's really hard, and no matter who tries to tell you otherwise or what someone's instant Instagram highlight reel is trying to lead you to believe, everyone struggles with this at times. There's no one that's perfect at this, and perfect has no place in your plan of making fitness a priority. Don't have that kind of standard for yourself because you will fall short. You're going to make mistakes from time to time. All it matters is how you get back on track. And so you're going to make mistakes from time to time. You're going to fail. You're going to miss a workout. You're going to have the best intentions to start the day or start the week, and there's still going to be times when you fail. But that doesn't end your fitness journey. That doesn't end anything. All you got to do is, how can I do better next time?
Exactly, yeah. So, it all starts from moving your body, Mm-hmm. There are other factors, obviously sleep, as I say, nutrition, and, mindfulness actually is another area people can look at, but we don't want to get that complicated. Just actually exercise, diet, and exercise, nutrition, and sleep, and certainly you can monitor all that as a fitness trainer yourself, you know.
Yes.
So real quick, what have we got coming up for you, and how can people find your book and your services coming up?
Yeah, make fitness a priority. If you want to get started, if you want some more help, go to beatyourexcuses.com, get my free book or my first copy, and makefitnessapriority.com. That is where you can find everything else. So if you're ready to get started, if you want to, I love helping people. And that's the thing that's the reason I give a freebie for here, because, you know, every time I talk on a podcast, I feel like, even though whether we have 30 minutes, an hour, we're just scratching the surface, you know? So if you have a couple takeaways, whatever, you're listening to, if you're listening to an expert give a 30-minute interview and you have some takeaways you like, just one takeaway, then take the time to go and look that person up, because there's more, you know? And so, I mean, if you want some help making this a priority, again, my niche, what I do, has been learned over my own shortcomings and my own lessons I've had to learn over the years with my own fitness. And so what I do is I help people figure out how fitness fits in your life. And that's different for everybody. There's a perception out there that personal training is bodybuilding, or personal training is lifting heavy weights. And personal training is different for everybody. It's just what are your fitness goals? Is it to move without pain? Is it to be more active? Is it to feel better mentally? Or does it have more energy? Or is it to lose weight? Whatever it is, you know, you just have to get started. What's your goal? How are you going to do it? And then go to makefitnessapriority.com, and there's a lot of tips on there how you can just get started. What are the questions you need to ask yourself to get started?
Chad, that's a perfect ending to this show, is getting started. Actually ending and then started. So actually it started. We'll end it with getting started. Let's put it that way. Chad, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show, and I'm sure we'll do some cross promotions and stuff like that. I mean, as I say, I'm more kind of the podcast and doing more of a wider life coaching thing with fitness as an aspect of it, rather, you know, you're highly niched and, you know, more of an expert in that area, what we spoke about today. So as I say, it's a great pleasure having you here today, and thanks for coming on the show and speaking to my audience.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
That's all for this episode. Thanks for listening, and remember, if you want to support what we do, then share, subscribe, and leave a review over on Apple Podcasts. Or head over to my website, davepalmer.com, and click on Rate Show. Well, that's all for now, but I'll see you in the next episode of The Dave Palmer Show.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.